I'm trying to be more responsible with my content creation journey and recording multiple videos in a single day. And I'm hearing myself back talking directly into the mic, and it is so weird because I'm so used to having the mic all the way back here where you can still listen to the echo and having to shout in my own office. But when I have the mic so close, it's like, wow, very crisp audio. ASMR. ASMR love for ASMR. You for real? Hello everyone. My name is Roberto Diego Armando. That is a very hard name. Hello everyone. My name is Roberto Diego Armando Diaz Perez Nopal, but you may call me Robbie for short. And today, I want to try to form the best shiny hunting team for Scarlet and Violet. Can you tell I'm reading off of a script because I sometimes can't form sentences? I saw a short video series from Yugs where he made his ideal shiny hunting team. He started with a typical false swipe, Spore, Breloom combo, and built a team around it based on the various needs for hunting a shiny Pokemon. Since there are various Pokemon who could have self-fainting moves like Memento or Explosion. He also included a Talonflame with Flame Body to hatch eggs and a Tatsugiri with Taunt, but I noticed that there was a gap on his team that he couldn't address. Recoil moves. Recoil moves can be difficult to work with because using false swipe to weaken the Pokemon could mean that it could faint on that same turn. These are moves like Takedown and Double Edge, which most players take care of by having a Ghost type on the field, but Wild Charge or Flare Blitz aren't normal types, so what do we do for those? I'm obviously not going to tell you the answer until the very end, but you are very welcome to stick around. After thinking about this for a long time, I decided to make my own ideal shiny hunting team. I didn't make a team with Smeargle because, let's be honest, that's super lame! I obviously started with Breloom because no shiny hunting team would be complete without one. Breloom is the staple shiny hunting Pokemon with access to both False Swipe for bringing down wild Pokemon to 1 HP and Spore to guarantee the sleep condition. Ideally, I'd like Breloom to have Technician for its ability to increase the power of False Swipe in case of normal type resisting Pokemon. I would also give it Swords Dance to further increase its attack against those Steel and Rock types, and Stun Spore to paralyze opponents. Give it a Wide Lens to increase the accuracy of Stun Spore, and a Ghost Tera type to prevent Takedown and Double Edge. I don't have a shiny Breloom in my collection, so I decided to hunt for one. Oh. Hi. Nope. Thank you. He's so pretty. Hi. Okay, you stay here. And I'm gonna pull out my camera and say hello. Hi! Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful.
Rado.
The next Pokemon is Hisuian Decidueye. Love how its name rolls off the tongue. Hisuian Decidueye. Hisuian Decidueye. Ah, it's so good. It's so good. I'm a stickler about names. Sometimes, like Litten, it's just lit and kitten mashed together, which to me sounds so stupid. Anyway, Hisuian Decidueye fills the same role as Breloom, except its ability is Scrappy, which allows it to hit ghost types with False Swipe. I also gave it Taunt to prevent status moves, Swords Dance to boost its attack, and Baton Pass to pass that attack increase to Breloom, who can later use Spore. And we'll also give it a Ghost Tera type to, again, prevent Takedown and Double Edge. The third Pokemon is Gholdengo, because it's one of the few Pokemon who can defeat Mass Outbreak Pokemon in auto battles quickly on both land and the water surface. Look at how fast Gholdengo zooms through the overworld compared to Decidueye. Poor guy does not stand a chance. Plus, its ability Good as Gold prevents it from being inflicted with status conditions. I gave it Recover and Thunder Wave to paralyze grass types unaffected by Spore. I caught this shiny Gholdengo in a luxury ball because its body is made from coins. Gholdengo also learns Memento, which would be super helpful to prevent other Pokemon from using it if it could learn Imprison, but it doesn't. And this brings me to my next Pokemon, Polteageist. Say hello to Tatiana, my shiny rare mark antique form Sinistea with a 1 in 170,666 chance to appear. If you'd like to know the story for this shiny Pokemon, check out the previous video. Yes, this was an excuse to further flex my shiny rare mark antique form Sinistea because I am so proud of it. Oh my gosh. I evolved my Sinistea specifically for this video because Polteageist can learn Memento, Curse, and Imprison to prevent Memento and Ghost-type users from fainting. I also gave it Pain Split to deliver non-lethal damage against non-Ghost types, since Imprison only works while Polteageist is on the field. And its ability Cursed Body to disable all other moves, which I later realized while writing the script could trigger Struggle, which makes the Pokemon faint from recoil, and we don't want that. That's the whole point of this video. So we're gonna keep the ability as weak armor. Next, we have Psyduck. This is probably my favorite shiny Pokemon. Like, I obviously love Ditto and Sylveon's shiny forms, but his name is Blueberry. Blueberry for short. I originally caught one in Pokemon Go that I also named Blueberry, but I wanted one in Scarlet and Violet so I could keep the one in Pokemon Go. Psyduck is very important because it has Damp for its ability, which prevents explosion moves. It can also learn Skill Swap to pass Damp to the target and later switch to Breloom or Decidueye for Fall Swipe. I also gave Psyduck the moves Soak to change the target's type to water in case of a grass or ghost typing, Yawn, and Rain Dance. Rain Dance is important for changing the weather since Pokemon can be knocked out by Sandstorm, but in Generation 9, however, this strategy is useless because Hail was replaced by a Snorstorm and it no longer deals passive damage, and it's impossible anyways to change the weather that naturally spawns in the overworld. Game Freak, thank you so much. This is an important strategy that should work in other games, so it's still worth mentioning. I caught Psyduck in a dive ball to match its baby blue color scheme and water typing. And finally, the answer to our initial question. What should we do to prevent shiny Pokemon from fainting to recoil moves? The answer lies in 4 specific evolutionary lines: Alakazam, Clefable, Sigilyph, and Reuniclus. Sigilyph is one of my favorite Pokemon ever, but I chose Clefable because it appears in a strange ball. It matches the green in its ears, since I caught it in Legends Arceus, and Sigilyph isn't available in Generation 9. Clefable and the others have the ability Magic Guard, which prevents all indirect damage such as from weather, poison, crash damage from moves like High Jump Kick, and most importantly, recoil moves. We know that Double Edge, Head Charge, and Takedown can be avoided by Ghost types, plus Submission, while Volt Tackle and Wild Charge could be avoided by Ground types, but we can cover all the recoil moves by skill swapping this ability to the target. Clefable also knows Imprison to prevent Misty Explosion, and Misty Terrain just in case the target gets confused from moves like Thrash, Outrage, or Petal Dance. That's my shiny hunting team, and I hope you can incorporate some of these ideas into your own team. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and as always, I appreciate you being here. Bye!